I'm really sharing all of the information and knowledge that I carry based on, many, many years of study. I am so happy to share this with you. Okay. Now, just to review, the interplanetary fifth dimensional dual soul nature individuals, interplanetaries have volunteered to return in order to assist in accelerating the evolutionary path of humanities and of the three lower kingdoms. So that's the evolutionary mission. That's what all of us interplanetaries are here, those who carry the dual soul nature, that's what we're here to help. And that's the focus of this whole year, really, is to focus on, learn about our evolutionary mission, how, to facilitate and accelerate our ability to do just that. Okay? Now, so I'm going to move on to today's topic, and it is such a special one for me, and of course, I'm going to tell you why. Many, many years ago, in my late teens, I had a dream, and most of my dreams in childhood and teenager were nightmares. I really don't remember any good dreams in those ages except for this one. They were all pretty scary dreams. Anyway, and in this dream, I was in superhero school. Okay, now I know it seems a little silly, but I was a huge fan growing up of superhero comics, as were so many, and of course so many are today. We all love superheroes. That's why the Marvel movies are such big hits, and we had multiple Superman shows over the decades on TV, et cetera, et cetera. Well, anyway, in my dream, I decided to sign up for superhero school. And there I was in the dream, standing in this big field with a ton of other people, a big group that had signed up. And in this dream, they were in the process of handing out our superhero capes. And so I was so excited, tears running down my face, putting on my cape. And I was just so proud and so excited. And I looked to my right, and standing right next to me was a man that looked very much, although I don't think I knew who he was when I had the dream. But when I saw him on TV or in the movies or whenever I saw him the first time, I thought, oh my gosh, looks just like the man who was standing next to me. He looked very much like Danny DeVito, very short, sort of balding and heavy, and but he was getting his cape like everyone else. And I just remember thinking, oh, this is so cool. Superheroes come in every size and shape. And then I woke up. Now, okay, so I just want you to know that dream. It was so wonderful. I've never forgotten it. And then last week, I'm at the gym. I'm working out, and I'm calling in whenever I think of it, all through the time I'm in the gym, like I do now, like I encouraged you to do last week. I'm becoming one with the pure soul essence, and just trying to stay in that energy, trying to bring my exercise time in the gym to the very highest level. And I'm at the gym, and in walks this guy, tall, strapping, handsome-looking guy, and he was wearing a Superman T-shirt. Okay, now I haven't thought of that dream in quite a long time. I mean, I do think of it. I do tell people at least a couple, 3 times a year, because it's sort of a silly dream, but I haven't thought of it in a long time. And in walks this guy with a Superman T-shirt, and I'm like, that is totally cool. He wears what normally is thought of as a kid's shirt. He's wearing it without any kind of feeling weird about it or anything. And I'm so impressed. And then, because I'm amalgamated now with the pure soul essence, the higher self came right in and reminded me of the dream. And they said, it's time to talk to my radio community about becoming the superheroes that they are. Well, I barely focused on the workout. I don't think my trainer knew, but I was only half there. because they're giving me information during the workout about the show. They encourage me to open a superhero school right here on the show. And I'm like, oh, right. Excuse me, how can I teach something I haven't done myself? And they said, you've been going to superhero school for decades now. You can pass on so much of what you've learned. And together with a community, we can find ways to help each other along. And then they reminded me of all that I've accomplished. And even though I have told you I've changed my life 180 degrees 5 or 6 times, I don't go into a lot of detail. But when I look back on it, as they're reminding me, there's an awful lot I've done that is fairly amazing. So, and they remind me that it's not as if you haven't changed your life completely. So, and then they went on to explain that in superhero school, we're first going to be working on becoming our own superheroes, okay? Our own superheroes. So we're going to do it for ourselves first, and then we're going to be helping others. So I thought, okay, well, that's fine. I can handle that. So what is it about being a superhero? What makes them so super? Well, it's because, don't you know, they have a gift or a talent that's something that the rest of us don't have. You know, they can be invisible, they can fly, they have super strength, super hearing, they can walk through walls, whatever it is. I mean, there's multiple types of gifts and talents that we see in all the superheroes that are out there now, everywhere on TV and in the movies. But in other words, they do miraculous things. So, okay, so what's a miracle? Well, of course, I Googled it, and here's what I found. I mean, you all know what a miracle is, but I just thought, well, we'll start with a real sort of definition. A miracle is an event not explicable by nature or scientific laws. Such an event may be attributed to a supernatural being, a god or gods, magic, a miracle worker, a saint, or a religious leader. Okay. Informally, the word miracle is often used to characterize any beneficial event that is statistically unlikely but not contrary to the laws of nature, such as surviving a natural disaster or simply a wonderful occurrence, regardless of likelihood, such as birth. Other miracles might be survival of an illness, diagnosed as terminal, escaping a life-threatening situation, or beating the odds, something like that. Okay, so we get the picture, right? Of course, the definition does not bring in superheroes because, you know, they're really part of the imagination, I suppose. But that's okay. As far as we're concerned, we are going to become superheroes and doing miraculous things. And that is the information from the higher selves that I'm going to bring to you all today as we begin superhero school. Okay? And I have to say that I'm starting to cry because it just means so much to me to share this with you all and to be part of a community that we can all be in school together. All right, back in 1986, this is what the higher selves told the group. Quote, when you reach a point in this reality of being able to draw from that higher frequency and lay claim to power that each of you carry as an individual and manifest it outward into this reality, each of you will be participating in what could be viewed as miraculous manifestations. Now, many of us might question, well, okay, so if we're able to do this, why hasn't it been made available to us at this point in time? Why aren't we doing that? We're all willing vessels. Am I correct? Don't we all want to be superheroes? We want to be able to manifest the power of the miraculous. But the higher self remind us all that this isn't something they can give us as a gift. This is a gift we must give ourselves as we continue to unfold and develop and focus on the highest level of purity within ourselves. It's not necessarily an easy thing to do. Why? because we're in the free will kingdom. And it's all of our beliefs and our disbeliefs that stand in our way. So they encourage us to just begin by working to love ourselves properly. And even that we find difficult, because don't we find a lot of reasons that can't be so? A lot of reasons why we're so flawed, a lot of reasons why we don't deserve, a lot of reasons. So if we have a hard time just loving ourselves properly, how do you think we are going to be in this free will kingdom with the idea that we can do the miraculous? We have great resistance based on the beliefs we carry. Now, the higher selves told us often, we are the power, we are the miracle. Well, what does it mean exactly? It means that we can have a huge effect on our life and on the lives of others once we've reached the point of accepting within ourselves that we do have the power. You know, miracles in the fourth dimensional realm take longer, in essence, because of these free will obstacles, and also because of the density of the material world. However, if we work on it for ourselves, it's going to be easier than if we first try it to do it on others. Why? Because if we discover that we have a resistance to the idea of creating some sort of miracle or some sort of something, what did they say in that thing? Something is seen as statistically unlikely. If we do it on ourselves first, it's going to be easier, because when we sense any kind of resistance or disbelief, we can go in and do the neutralizing. We have consciousness, and consciousness is power, and we can do that. It's much harder to work it on somebody else because they can have resistance. It's their free will. Each human soul has the free will carried at the soul level, and we can't necessarily change their mind and get them to accept the miraculous in their life. Sometimes a soul will do that, but it's easier for us to work on it because with consciousness and power, and we can work on our own resistance. Now, the higher self has said, and now, I was reviewing this information on the miraculous, and I saw this, and I thought, oh, no wonder that's why I'm always saying it. I didn't remember that it came directly from them, but they said if we're to keep somebody from drowning, we have to first learn to swim, okay? I don't say it quite like that, but in any case, so if we're going to harness the power of the miraculous, we have to first harness it through ourselves, utilizing and demonstrating the power of the creative life force, by taking charge, by becoming totally responsible in every area of our lives, and moving our lives from the less than positive that so much of life is about into the tremendous expansion and of unlimited good. Okay, so if we focus outward, if we're looking outward for help in our life. This individual makes me happy. This individual must do this in my life. This situation must happen in this way for me to be happy. Those kind of things. If we're waiting for something else, someone else to either fix us or to make us happy, if we're looking outward, we are placing expectations on people and conditions and things like that, but we're simultaneously taking away from our own power. Okay? We are looking without instead of within. What we need to do is shift that focus so that we be continually focused inward to tap the only source that we need, guys, the only source that we need in order to have whatever we want in our lives. Yeah, the pure soul essence, okay? That pure soul essence carries the power of the miraculous. And so by demonstrating the power within our own lives, our own reality, we could then, at some point, move out and to assist and, touch others, the humanities on the planet. That's the point, isn't it? Remember, our mission is to facilitate and accelerate the evolutionary process of the humanities and the three lower kingdoms. So that's the whole point. We learn to utilize and become one with the power of the miraculous in our own lives, and then we can shift it outward and utilize it for the humanities at large. Now, it's really, I really am trying to call your attention to that beauty of our beingness, the quality, the incredible quality of our true self-identity, which is the pure soul essence, and the power of the miraculous that we are the magic wand, guys. But in all of our sojourns as facade humans, through so many, many lifetimes, we have forgotten that. But is now the time, and the higher selves are, that whole time in the gym, reminding me over and over again that now is time. It's the time to cultivate consciously this remembrance of our beauty, of the quality of who we are, of the power of who we are, of our self-reliance, our self-sufficiency, and, our ability to be all that we can be. So, now, when we work on this process of becoming one with the power of the miraculous, and I'm going to be doing an exercise very soon, I want you to understand that you're not going to, it's a process, and it's going to take some time to reach the place of being able to miraculously manifest. So I don't want you to think that tomorrow morning we're all going to get up and walk on water, okay? But it doesn't mean that we can't. I know, it's bizarre, but apparently we very much can. Now, we deserve to have the best of everything in our world, our material world, our spiritual world, and to work with your higher self, to work with your pure soul essence, remembering it's not external, it's not coming from somewhere else, we carry it within, we'll find all we need to absolutely manifest the power of the miraculous. Now, I know that seems a little off the wall, but part of me really feels that one of the reasons that all the superhero stuff is so popular around the world is because at some inner level, we all know that we carry that. And it reminds us of who we are. It reminds us that there's more than what we see out there in the regular, normal world. I just feel so strongly. And in fact, there have been things in my life that I never called the miraculous, but they're pretty amazing. I'm pretty sure I told you about the vision. I've decided to use the divine vision. Didn't use power of the miraculous for this at all. Just was using divine vision so that I could bring in the, higher perspective, be able to pick up the higher self information more easily. And over the time I used it, and I would just call it in, I'd be standing in the line somewhere and I'd just say, okay, divine vision, divine vision. And I, very similar to the, connecting with the pure soul essence. And at some point I realized that my glasses just weren't doing it anymore, and I wasn't seeing very well and needed to get new glasses, which was normal for me. Every year or two, I'd always have to get a stronger prescription. I know I've told you this. And I went to the eye doctor finally to get it, and she kept saying during the exam, yeah, you need new glasses. Yeah, you need new glasses. Yeah, definitely. Anyway, at the end of the thing, she turns to me, she said, well, in fact, you need new glasses because your eyes are so much better. Your left eye, or I can't remember which is which, but one eye was 50% better and the other eye was 40% better. Now, I didn't say anything to her about the vision, and she did indicate that it was unusual because it wasn't like I had any kind of eye disease or any eye thing that would, come and go or anything like that. And so in fact, it was pretty darn amazing. And, I talk about it, but in a way, I don't know, it was unlikely. I beat the statistics, so to speak. So that was pretty cool. And I've really cured and healed so much of my physical body. I'm very, very healthy now, and occasionally I still get something, but it's practically nothing, and then I work on it, and then it goes away, and if it comes back even less. So it's just, I've been really fortunate with this work. I don't call anything miracles, but some of them definitely were unlikely, okay? And so I feel like I'm not exactly the one that says, oh, I can do miracles, I'm going to teach you how to do it. No, but I've had some very positive stuff in my life. I don't know if I should talk about more. I didn't come prepared, but you all know that arthritis is in my family. In my early 40s, I started showing, my hands started hurting, and I was showing them to my mother, who happened to be there, and she set up, and she held up her hands that were gnarled and deformed and really unattractive looking, but just, she said, well, welcome to arthritis. It's in our family. Good luck. Well, I, of course, started working on it, and I'm able to pop it right in its tracks. I do not have deformed hands. I have a couple of little bit slightly larger, couple knuckles that are slightly larger than normal that had already happened once I started working on it. But, my sister's hands are much more, they show much more the evidence of arthritis than mine because, they don't do the work. None of them are as much as my mom's. But in any case, I don't take anything. I'm not in any pain. I don't take anything for the arthritis. Occasionally, if a joint hurts, I might take some glucosamine chondroitin, which is, a supplement for it. I'll take it for a couple of weeks. The pain goes away, and I don't think of it. I don't take it anymore. So, yeah, every once in a while it comes back, but it has not been progressing. It's not progressed since I was in my early 40s. So it's very, very it is very, unlikely. It's not, I don't consider it a miracle, but it's unlikely. And I've just done so much good for my physical body as well as the rest of my life. This shy person who was scared of the world, I'm now leading groups. I now have a community, a global community. I'm writing books. My self-identity was how inarticulate I was. And every time I had a writing assignment, I would cry and I would suffer, and it would take 3 days to write a paragraph. I mean, it was terrible growing up. And so in so many ways, what's been unlikely, I've been able to turn around. And you can too. And maybe it's not miracles, but to me, it's real evidence that this work is powerful. And the higher selves are right there encouraging me to move it along, guys. Let's get going to this power of miraculous stuff. So anyway, now I'm going to do an exercise, and it's a very simple one, and I want each of you to think of, well, never mind, that's part of the exercise. It's short, but it's a way that we can actually use this power of the miraculous that we carry. And I want to just begin. First, we're going to simply amalgamate, and I'm not going to do the extended amalgamation with the forever now moment and everything, because I want to move away from your thinking you have to do that every time. The fact of the matter is, that for it moves the healing that I do into the very highest level, because it brings access to the totality of the soul's journey to the healing. But you don't need to do that you don't need to do that if you want to access the power of the miraculous. You carry it in the pure soul essence. And just like I said last week, you can just become one with that pure soul essence. Or you can just become one with your true soul essence. And the higher selves actually encourage that as well, to begin to feel comfortable and at home with that other part of the soul that you are, the other part, that fifth dimensional part of the soul that you carry, and that for the most part we don't think about. So they encourage just doing that too, keeping in mind that the higher selves are also working, that fifth dimensional part of ourselves are also working from the divine level. They carry immense power. They also carry the power of the miraculous. They also have the pure soul essence. So it is really important, guys, to do what you feel in the moment. If you want to connect with your higher self and then focus on the true soul essence and become one with that energy. That is you. That's with you all the time. It's part of your soul process. And so that's a very good thing to do as well. The pure soul essence I talked about last week, so I'm not going to repeat all I said last week. But in any case, this time, today, we're going to focus on the power of the miraculous. Okay. So let's everybody get comfortable. Take a few deep breaths. I want you to understand in your consciousness that in that centered, amalgamated state, you carry the power of the miraculous. I want you to focus now on that pure soul essence, that divine sun within, that divine light within. That is all that originating source was, is, and is becoming. And the originating source carries the power of the miraculous. And I want you to focus on that pure soul essence, expanding the light in, through, and around your physical body, in, through, and around your etheric bodies, in, through, and around the totality of your beingness at every level, your mind and your soul. And from this centered, amalgamated state, I want you to each consciously focus your attention on a symbolic circle within the pure soul essence. You don't have to think of it as a circle, but I'm just using the circle because it's a simple symbol. And this is the power of the miraculous. It is one element of the divine energies of the pure soul essence of the originating source. And I want you to see that circle, focus on it, become conscious of it. And I want you to infuse into that power of the miraculous creative life force energy. As you know, for those who've listened to this show before, when I do the healing, I always bring us into the womb of originating source that carries this huge resource of creative life force energy. Why? Because this energy gives birth, and we are infusing it into the circle of the miraculous, the symbolic circle or the symbolic orb of the power of the miraculous that we carry, because it's going to create or give birth to the power of miraculous in our lives. So we have an orb. I think an orb is better than circle. We have an orb within that carries the power of the that is the power of the miraculous. We're infusing into the orb the creative life force energy that's going to give birth to the power of the miraculous, so we can manifest it. And I want you now to visualize, see, imagine, sense this energy that's within this orb moving in, through, and around. It's flowing out of the orb, in, through, and around the totality of the physical body. And you can focus it on the areas in the physical body that you carry, that anyone carries, that's out of balance or is in pain or is causing you problems in any way. And I want you to see this miraculous energy moving in, through, and around your physical body, and then especially focusing it on any area in the body that needs the miraculous help. And I want you to infuse this energy with healing. And I also want you to infuse it with the desire to accept the healing. It's very important because remember, at the soul level, we carry resistance for whatever reason, disbeliefs that it can be healed. Wow, it's really doing good. I can feel it, guys. It's really doing well. We want to infuse into it the energy of healing and the desire to accept the healing. This is very, very key. And I want you to just keep flowing that energy into the physical body, focusing it again on the places that are out of balance, that need to be healed in some way, for some reason. If your whole body is in pretty good shape, just put it in the whole body, and the energy will find any area that needs help, even if you're not consciously aware of it. I now want you to infuse into this energy divine love. We need to focus on the loving ourselves. So I want you to infuse divine love and have that. It's the highest healing energy. The higher heart consciousness is the highest healing energy we have access to at the fourth dimensional level. So we want to put divine love, infuse it also within this miraculous energy field. So now we have the power of the miraculous, the creative life force energy, divine healing, divine love, and the divine desire to accept it all. Now we're going to keep expanding this miraculous energy into the etheric bodies, the thought form body, the habit body, the emotional response body. And I want you to move it in, through, and around all the areas that you see or you believe or you view as less than perfect about yourself. All the confusions, all the fears, all the patterns, all the lacks, all the misunderstandings and misconceptions. And we want to infuse them with absolute perfection in the mind, body, soul, and spirit. We want to infuse it with the divine love so that we can utilize and take in the love and be nourished. We want to embrace, to feel, to sense. Again, like with the physical body, if there's certain areas where peace is needed, where understanding is needed, where balance is needed, where healing is needed, where harmony is needed, I want you to move those into whatever area. If you have a relationship issue, you can move it into the relationship area. If you have a job issue or a financial issue or any kind of issue, I want you to move the energy into that area. If you sense any resistance coming up, any disbelief, any judgment coming up with the exercise, with the energy, with the process, with being in superhero school. Just ask this miraculous energy, this pure, which is part of the pure soul essence, ask it to move in and neutralize it, bathe it, dissolve it. I want you to continue to focus on this pure soul essence and on this orb, or the power of the miraculous within. The creative life force energy wants to give birth to the miracles in our lives. So bathe in that energy. Have that be working as much, as intensely with the power of the miraculous, with the power of miraculous. Infuse it with divine love. Infuse it with a desire to partake of the miraculous. And it's very intense. I hope some of you can feel it. I just can't help myself, but I now want us to just send this incredible power of the miraculous with all the energies it's infused with. I want us to just send it out into the universe. I'm going to ask the higher self to please bring it to wherever it needs to go. I have this opportunity with a group taking part and being one with the exercise, with utilizing the exercise. I want to take advantage of this group energy, and I do see it moving out all around the planet. It's being brought to every single soul. No soul is too small or too hidden or undeserving. Every single soul is being provided with this light. We can't force anyone to take it in. It's not about that, but it's being provided out there. And maybe today some of the souls won't take it, but maybe tomorrow or next week when we do something again, it will. So this energy is moving in through and around the planet. And once we start to get more familiar and more comfortable with utilizing this, I'm already getting the sense from the higher selves that we will be utilizing it to do some more healing on the planet. I haven't done healing on the planet for a while, and it's been at the back of my mind the last few weeks. The weather has been so weird everywhere, so I feel like we really need to do it again. And now that we're working with the power of the miraculous, we should be able to, bring the healing a few, ticks up. Anyway. Okay, so that's the simple exercise. No biggie, right? Right, people? Now, you can use any variation of it that you desire. Okay, this isn't written in stone. I changed the symbol halfway through from the circle to the orb. You don't have to use either one. You can use one or the other. Pick your own symbol. What's a symbol that signifies miraculous to you? You could use that as a symbol. It doesn't matter what symbol you use. But I want to encourage that everyone choose something in your life that you're unhappy with. Okay? It doesn't matter what it is. And I want you to just use this energy on that thing all week long. Okay? So maybe there's some fears you have that are getting the best of you in some way, some anxieties or something, or maybe you are, you have a physical issue, or maybe there's a relationship issue, or maybe whatever. I want you to focus this energy on one thing all week long, whether you do it 3 times in the week, 3 times in the day, 10 times in a day. I want you to just focus on that and, use the power of miraculous, the creative life force energy, and the desire to accept the miraculous into your life. That's a very key issue, again, I'm saying. and divine love. And whatever issue you've decided on, I want you to flow those energies into that. Remember, the divine can't hurt or harm. They can't make it worse. They're not going to manipulate or control. They're going to bring this situation into a new level where the odds were against it, okay? That's an easy way to put it. And see how it goes over the week. See if there are any changes by next Wednesday. If you find yourself blocked, you know what to do. You can neutralize it. You can bring the block right into the power of the miraculous. Something comes to mind, you're thinking, oh, this is ridiculous, I'm never going to do this. Throw that thought and all the thoughts like it right into this miraculous energy to do the clearing, the dissolving, the neutralizing. Remember, we're filled with disbeliefs about this kind of thing. Keep in mind, one of my favorite things in the world has always been science. I'm very logical. I have a very scientific mind of looking at things. And I know all about beliefs and disbeliefs. But that's why we're practicing this. That's why we're utilizing the energy. I'm asking all of you to stand between belief and disbelief in a neutral space, because all of our judgments and all of those beliefs, remember, are limiters. They cap exactly how high we're going to go. If we keep thinking, oh, well, I can't really heal X, Y, or Z that's going on in my body, then guess what? We won't heal X, Y, or Z. We want to stand between the, in the eye of the hurricane, allowing the beliefs and disbeliefs to be outside of the neutral space. They can be there, but we want to neutralize them. We don't want to be of them. We're of them, but we don't want to be them. We want to be neutral. We want to stand between the beliefs and disbeliefs. So when all of these things come up, which, it'd be weird if they didn't come up, go ahead and neutralize them. And even if you don't have them in your conscious mind, maybe there's a lot of you out there that really resonates with the idea of the power of the miraculous, and that's what I hope, because I have to say, in the beginning, it was really hard for me to hear it. But after a while, as I saw my life changing, I started getting behind it more and more, because there are just changes in my life way back when that I could never have imagined. Even 10 years ago, I couldn't imagine the change that have come 10 years ago. Was so far ahead of where I was 10 years before that, but I still couldn't have imagined where I am now 10 years ago. So the point is that more and more I took it on as feeling this is, resonating with it. So hopefully you all move to that place as well. I'm going to work on one thing too all week. I haven't decided yet what. But I'm going to do it again this week, and I'll let you guys know. I'll give you a report next week. If any of you care to share with me, it's janet@janetrichmond.com or janet@higherselfvoice.com. Please send me an email if you notice any difference. And again, it doesn't have to be a miracle, but if you see some improvement in a week, that's something that hasn't improved in 10 years or 30 years, hey, that's saying something. That is beating the odds, okay? Remember, we're on the superhero track now, you guys. And I will be, there's just so much more to unfold for you all. So you'll be getting pieces of it. But I wanted to start you on this. There was no coincidence there to have the guy walk into the gym with a with a Superman T-shirt on. And then the higher self just, usually I say walking through my living room. Well, this time I was in the gym, and they were just downloading all this stuff and the importance of opening up the superhero school. And it is not an exclusive school. Anyone can attend. Anyone can attend. because we all carry the power of the miraculous. This is not an elite school. It is not, you have to have some special talent or gift, or you have to, have had a, terrible accident where you died and you came back all seeing and all knowing, whatever. Those kind of things don't have to happen. We all carry it. There is no exclusivity at all in this superhero school. None whatsoever. And I encourage you to talk about it with your friends, encourage them to listen to the show, and let's build the superhero school community all around the planet. Okay, guys? So that's my show for today, and it's not very long, and that's okay. It's such an opportunity for me and for everyone, and I thank you all for being part of it. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye. I wish you all the best week ahead, and good luck with your exercise. Good luck with the power of the miraculous, and we'll connect next week about it. Okay? All right. Bye-bye, guys.